Okay, it's back. I don't know what happened. This is my one live radio show. Yeah, right. What $10,000 bill? If I had a $10,000 bill, I wouldn't be sitting here. Where are you talking about $10,000 bill? Where do you see a $10,000 bill? There it's alien heads here. All poor alien heads like me, and an alien head top. See? That goes on this guy. But if I put it on top, it gets too hot in my belt. No money behind me. I don't know. It happens. It's happened before, sometimes 3-4 times. I think I lose the internet connection. I don't know if it's hacking or YouTube or what the hell. But maybe it was Kathy. Heard me talking about Hooters and large-breasted women, and that was the end of me. I saw one going on the street the other day from the DA's office. Oh my God. But that's my preference in women. It's not objectifying women at all. I just like women who are busted. Hold on. All right. Glad I didn't sleep on that. That was in the bed. I tend to eat bed more than I should. All right, this is the book I got. High-Powered Investing, All-in-One for Dummies. Stock investing, bond investing, exchange-traded funds, annuities, futures and options, commodities, currency trading, hedge funds, value investing, second edition, and technical analysis. Now, the interesting thing about this book, I looked at it and said, how old is this book? And it listed Bear Stearns. That shows you, and Lehman Brothers. So that shows you how old this book is. This is 2008, I think. It's still useful, and it's one I didn't have. Remember, though, these things get donated to the library because people get rid of them because they're old. Yeah, 2008. But right now I'm on Playing the Market, stock. I knew about stocks, I knew about warrants, I knew about puts and calls, I know about ETFs, I know about future analysis and commodities and currency trading, which is Forex. I have books on Forex. But I've never had any money to do it. On page 44, this is what I read when I can't sleep and I get sick and tired of watching videos. Something else just fell on. I think it does. It has something. Let's look in the index. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, that was a scam. They want to go after somebody. They should have got those guys. Did they ever go to prison? I don't know. PG&E should have gotten after too. Let's see. ETFs, whole section of ETFs. Exchange trading funds. Enbridge Energy Partners. Not Enron. Now, hold on. Brokerage houses. Bearishness. That's funny, they mentioned Bear Stearns, they put it in the index, but, and let me see if they put the other one in. I was looking up collectibles of Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns. There's a very nice silver and silver-plated coffee things and gravy bowls and sugar and creamers on eBay. Quite nice. Some of them are fairly inexpensive, you know. They have silver-plated copper, too. I wouldn't mind having that for my coffee creamer and my equal. My Splenda, I mean, not equal. Leverage buyouts, leverage. Lehman Brothers, page 27. There it is, Lehman Brothers. No Enron, but yeah, right. Don't know what a dank mem is. I told people before everything collapsed that year, I said, do not buy all these .coms if you can't wear it, put it in your car, eat it. It's not good. I told him one about pet, what was it? The guy with the dog puppet. I said, don't do that. It's going to go under. It's a gimmick, and it's not supported by any brick and mortar. I think it was Red Gorilla was another one that went under. The sign was on Geary Street for years. A lot of those .com and the .com boom don't exist anymore, and some of them got damaged forever. Remember Netscape? They died during all that. So, and the housing bubble crashed. That's because of the convertible debt swaps and all of that. I've read a lot of financial books, but I haven't had the money. If I could go back in time and tell myself off, I would have saved money and invested in the market, invested in futures, invested in different things, bought gold and silver, and would not be doing this at all. I'd be sitting in somewhere well off and enjoying nice juice or something and reading the Wall Street Journal all the time. One magazine I missed, it was great. It listed every stock in the market, all 1,500 of them. It was a magazine called Financial World, long gone. So, but they say diversify. That's the big, and real estate investment trusts. I like those because of the yield, but some of those are risky because they own shopping centers, apartment buildings, malls, dental offices, things like that. They pay. Some of them pay very high yield. What you really want to do is have stocks or investment that give you minimum double the rate of inflation and maybe 3 times the rate of inflation if you can find that. Some common stocks will pay 6%. And every once in a while you find one that will pay you a huge amount in cash. If you're the owner of record, you have to have bought the stock by, let's say, December 1st to get that dividend. And I found some stocks, I've told Paul about it, and other people, and I said they'll pay like $300, $400, $500, $1,000 a share in cash or stock if you own that stock, if you're having a special payout. And that's the ones you find. There are lists for these special high dividend, they're high risk, but you can buy those, hold them for a while, pay the capital gains, and then sell them once you've paid the capital gains. There's a time limit you have to hold them for. That's the risk. But you can make potentially a lot of money. Now, back in the 70s, when I was buying and selling stock, I bought GM at 30, it went to 90. I bought Zern Industries at 30, it went to 90. I bought some other stuff. The biggest mistake I ever made, I didn't buy Wendy's at $5 a share. And that was the biggest stock market mistake I ever made. If I had put a whole bunch of money into Wendy's, I'd be a rich man today, or at least a lot richer. Yeah, there's, there we go with the powdered peanut butter again. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't had time to look it up. Well, commodities. There's orange juice futures, there's pork bellies, there's cattle futures, there's soybean, there's coffee, there's precious metals. Those are all commodities. Not just the coins you buy from the coin dealer, but bars of gold and silver and platinum. And I can't look it up on this iPad. I have a thing from, I can't remember the site even. There's a gold buying and selling site. I have the app, and that tells me all the commodities prices. I have it set to avoid iridium and platinum. But it tells you gold, silver, oil, all the oil futures on all the markets, bent crude and everything else, and North Sea crude, and Saudi Arabian crude and sweet crude, and it will tell you all the metals. And then I can also go down and have me give me all the Chicago Board of Trade, or whatever they're calling it today, for orange juice and soybean, like you saw in Trading Places. All those commodities. Sugar, that's another one. And I don't know if they still trade in sugar or not, but they used to. So, raisins are not, they're a fruit, but I'm sure there's markets that sell raisins in bulk, but I don't know. You know, they grow them out in the valley here. They're just dried grapes they put out on racks in the sun. That's what raisins are. But the risk with betting on commodities, whether they go up and down, is a risk. You could bet on orange juice futures and have a hurricane wipe out the orange crop, or a blight, or a bug. That's your risk with dealing with stuff you eat. Yeah, here's Chicago Board of Trade, and Chicago Board Auctions Exchange, but I don't know if they call those anymore. Here's another one: coal, cocoa, coffee, coins. There's 4 commodities. I would call coins commodity because they're precious metals. And commodity pools, commodity trading. Of course, back then there was no Bitcoin. And I got an email today saying Warren Buffett called Bitcoin the cyanide of investing or something. So, bad pun alert. Stocks and celery indeed. Whap, whap, whap. There, I beat my viewers. There you go. I've just beaten the viewers severely with a washcloth. Boom, 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 boom. An Amazon washcloth, which I got for free. So, God, that's still causing a problem. What did I do? I know almost nothing about Bitcoin except the fact that they exist, and I have tried to invest in Bitcoin, set up an account, and then could do nothing with it. So I'm not the guy to talk about Bitcoins. What I would really do, I'd prefer you not to send me your savings. You contact me, I will email you back and take a look at the market when I can see the market results. And then I can tell you what I feel is worth investing and not. You wouldn't go bad if you invested your money in an AT&T, an Exxon, Chevron stock has had problems with finding new sources of oil. That's probably the oil companies, but that's what I'm most familiar with. Walmart is at 89. I got my Walmart stock at 59. Or 54. Nordstrom is at 59, I think. And they're a well-run company. They're retail. You got to be aware of retail because 1 minute trends can go bye-bye, and somewhere it could go belly up, like Macy's will do because they're overextended. Penny's because no one shops there. Sears because they've been in trouble for years. Target's okay. Even though they've had a backlash over the letting transsexuals use everybody's bathroom. But I don't care about that. When I go to Target and I need something at Target, I go get it at Target. Or I go get it at Marshall's. Or I go get it at, what's that thing? Burlington. They now no longer call it Coke Factory, but that's a discount place for clothing and shirts and socks and bric-a-bracs and things. But people are going to use gas in their car. They're going to use electricity. I used to have stock in Alabama Power, and I had the Series D common stock because they paid me a 12% dividend. The same with San Diego Gas and Electric, which I think they're now under the name of the merge. They're paying me a high dividend. Stocks that have been in the doldrum, the only one I'm aware of right now that I can recall is Bank of America. Their stock has been sitting at something ungodly price for ages. Amazon is too pricey for most people right now. So is Berkshire Hathaway. There's 2 or 3 kinds of Berkshire Hathaway. Apple I would buy if I had money, because Apple, even though the iPhone 10 looks like it's been a bust, they're always coming out with a new product. And they're making money. They've got $4 billion sitting in a bank account. that they don't even need to use. Well, the problem with shoes is shoes are leather, and that comes from the cow. So it's also kind of a commodity product, and shoes are fashion. I don't buy fashion because, look, you could have clip-clops, or you could have poodle skirts, or you could have short skirts. They'll go long, the ties will go wide, the ties will go short. Shoes will be fashionable one year with sequins on them, and the next year will be glitter or diamonds. And they're a fad product, and you never know what women are going to like one year and they're going to hate the next. And it's also geared by the fashion designers, most of whom are gay, and that's not an anti-gay comment, that's the truth. I've never understood gay guys designing clothes for women who are not gay, but anyway, I wouldn't be involved with shoes. Now, there's a lot of shoe stores that like Payless. Payless just had a big problem. They declared bankruptcy, and they closed a lot of their stores around the country. And the one in Sun Valley Mall is still there. I went into the guy buy a pair of shoes, and there weren't any there in my size. But I have a problem. I wear a 13.5 Triple E. So I've got to go and get my shoes online, and I have to order them online through a catalog. Bank of America, they got bought up. That's another problem. Wells Fargo got bought up by Bank of Minnesota. Bank of America got bought up by a bank in North Carolina, and they're not the old Bank of America run by A.P. Giannini, where they cared about the customer. And that's the problem with a lot of the big banks. The small banks are okay. One bank that I understand is very good is Fifth Bank is very good. Maroney and I talked about that a lot. Another bank, I don't know if you can buy stock in them, is USA Bank. They're geared to veterans. They're quite good. They'll open an account of your veteran or a family member of a veteran. Same with some of the credit unions. The Navy Credit Union is very good. You can't buy stock in it, but they're good to have an account there. I really don't know about internet radio or podcasts, because this is the equivalent for this day and age of the .coms of the 80s. You could have a podcasting network one day and then everybody stops watching or subscribing, like we've seen with Heather Wailed, Weather Hailed. I'm forgetting who I'm talking about here. If they decide trends change, they don't like you, or if something happens, like you just said, Don Imus a while ago, and he gets into trouble and he's not on the air anymore, there goes your chief star. Look at Midnight in the Desert. Art Bell left. A lot of people left because they didn't want to listen to Heather Wade. I'm saying the name for a reason. They wanted Art Bell, and they didn't want to listen to Sirius without Art Bell. Look at Opie and Anthony on Sirius. One of them got accused of saying racist comments, and he was fired. They want your show. Cat food. Okay, Nestle's just sold off some of their candy company, Butterfinger and Baby Ruth, but their cat food division, they own Purina. They're going strong. Another one is Mars. Now, I think Mars is a privately held company. They've been owned by the Mars family out of Chicago for years. You could consider Nestle stock, but like any stock, you want to look at the yields, you want to look at the history of the company. The best way to do it, to look up any stock out there, if it's publicly traded, you go to the website, find your website, find the number for investor relations, and either send them an email or call them and say, I'd like a copy of your latest annual report. And then go look up on thestreet.com or Hoover's. Hoover's, if you type in for free, they'll give you the name of the company directors and something about the company. TheStreet.com will analyze a lot of companies for you. That's Jim Cramer's website, by the way. And you want to do research on any of the stocks before you buy anything. And if I were doing stock investment, I would just do it so much as pay me $20, I'll invest you in what stocks I think are good to buy, but for the realization this would be an investment advisement, and it is up to you to make your individual decisions, just like I'm saying now. So Can I put the stock I put in a Art Bell back in the 90s in the celebrity market into a Roth IRA and expect any profit? Well, there's another thing. There's a Roth IRA and there's another kind of IRA, and I don't remember the difference right now. I'm a little rusty on it, but there's two different kinds. One you're taxed now, and the other when you're taxed at age 70 and a half. So you'd have to talk to your broker on that and get advice about which IRA to use. But the question is, what are you going to invest it in? You could have it sit there in cash, but then your cash gets eaten away by 2% inflation a year. You want to have an investment. You're going to make more than what is being eaten away by inflation every year. No matter what the Fed does, we're going to have inflation. We had periods recently in the last 16 years, we've had zero inflation, but that's artificial. They don't factor in the price of gasoline and the price of food. And everything in this country, whether it's by train, truck, or plane or boat, is all driven by gasoline. That's why I say if you investigate gas stocks, that's one way to go, to have some of that in your portfolio, because for the immediate future, we're not going to have atomic cars and atomic trucks and atomic planes or fusion-driven cars, planes, and ships delivering food and commodities. And when you get vegetables in the market, they're taken from the farm in a truck or in a van or in a car or however they bring it by train, and they're brought to the market by truck. That's all driven by crude oil. And everything in here came in by a truck somewhere or train. Everything in your house, all your lumber, your building materials, all came in through something driven by gasoline or crude oil. Now, IRA is individual retirement account, not a terrorist organization. You're being silly. So, Friskies is owned by Nestle. 9 Lives with Morris the Cat is owned by Mars, I believe. Ralston Purina used to be Purina, and they were bought up. There are cat food companies out there too. But pet food is a huge industry. And give you an idea, another stock you might look into, they're publicly traded, the last I knew, is PetSmart. And they own Chewy. And Chewy is doing huge business. Right, people don't have time to shop, they deliver it at your door. And if you order $50 a month, it's free shipping. So how long they continue free shipping, I don't know. How they're making a profit, I don't know. But look at Amazon. They hadn't made a profit for years, and yet their stock is $1,000 a share or more, so, or close to $1,000 a share. I guess the old joke about volume, they sell so much they're using the money for other things. So, but I'm kind of rusty on stocks. But I used to own, also another thing you might consider is mutual funds. But again, there's hundreds of mutual funds out there. And what they do, they buy stock what's in a sector. They'll buy transportation stocks, or they'll buy a mixture of stocks. And there's stocks around the world. You can buy stock in Brazilian companies, German companies, English companies, French companies. And they'll buy a mixture of, depending on what it is, it depends on the industry. And that way you've diversified yourself by buying in that fund. But the problem with mutual funds, some funds will make money and some funds will lose money. And you don't know until you do your research. But there's all kinds of ways to invest your money. Now, I don't know which growth fund it is. For one reason, it's a little bit. There's not much there. It's all in the coin deal, but I do buy coins. I went in there last week to pay the last 2 weeks, I can't remember, pay the interest of my coin loans. I said, hey, somebody bought up your dimes and quarters. Yeah, we got a guy who comes in and he buys all the junk, what they call junk silver, which is older dimes and silver that have been circulated. The dimes are $3 and something per dime, and the quarters are about $6. But that's the cheapest way you can invest in silver is buy junk coins. There's nothing wrong with that. They're 90% silver. And you just go in and buy a few coins every month, and in a while you'd have a lot of coins. Now you're paying the market price for that silver. You can buy silver bars too. Gold bars, the average person doesn't have $1,300 an ounce. You can buy 1/10 an ounce gold coins from the U.S. Mint, and that way you'd own gold. Now it doesn't earn any interest. That's the thing. You're hoping the price goes up and not down. And historically, we have had huge drops in the price of gold and big drops in the price of silver. Back in the 80s, when the Hunt brothers tried to corner the silver market and failed, silver went from $5 an ounce. I had silver. Kathy spent huge amounts of silver coin I got on a hamburger one night. I was ready to murder her. I said, you just spent all that money on a $50 hamburger, because that's how much silver is worth, $50 an ounce. Right now, silver is $17 an ounce. That shows you the difference. With inflation, it might be up around $50 an ounce. I don't know. But so a few years ago, when I was buying silver at the coin dealer here before he went under, silver hit $32 or $34 or $38 an ounce. It means your coins cost more money. Now it's $17. It's affordable to buy some junk silver. You can also buy futures in silver and futures in gold. You don't have to buy. You can buy gold mining stocks and make money. Now, I prefer to buy. If I had won the lotto, let's say, I would go out and buy a mining claim, pay someone to mine it, and then pay them a fee to mine the gold, and make my money that way on a mining claim. If it had proven reserves of gold, silver, copper, and other metals in there, and make money. You can find nickel in some place. You can buy a uranium mine, but I don't know if you can buy and sell uranium anymore, unless you're the Clintons. So, yeah, I saw somebody I saw a woman earlier coming back from the store. She was waiting in the city fountain here, and I looked at her like, okay. She had her shoes off, and she was picking out the dimes and pennies and nickels and quarters out of the city fountain. And I put my hand in that water one day. It's oily. There's something in that water that's nasty. So I wouldn't put my hand in it. But there was change in the bottom, and she was stealing all the change, which in most cities is illegal. If you do that in a shopping mall, they'll tell you to get out of there, and they'll have you arrested for theft. So you may not want to do that. But she was pulling the money out of the no, you don't want to strip copper out of the building. That's a felony in some states, and they will arrest you for that. It's considered vandalism and theft. So I don't think the homeless, I've never seen a homeless person around our City Hall Plaza here. They're all hanging out at the soup kitchen or shooting up at Starbucks, or they're out coming out of jail. I've never seen anybody pee in the fountain in 12 years. I walk through that fountain all the time when I get off the bus. Walk by the fountain, not through it. So I don't think that's it. But there's something nasty that feels like oil, like something. Maybe it's something they put in, because when a fountain goes, it's shooting water up in the air. Maybe it's some chemical they use to shoot the water in there. I don't know. Or the grease to keep the motor running or something. I have no idea. Anyway, that's a disgusting comment texture. Please don't do that. They don't bathe in it either. I've never seen anybody bathe in it. No, this didn't feel like any body oil I've ever felt. It was, it felt like motor oil. That's the only thing I can describe it. It felt like oily, artificial stuff. It wasn't human. It felt greasy like motor oil or something, or transmission fluid. I don't know what it is. Maybe they poured transmission fluid in it. I don't know. But, no, I've gone through there as late as, with a car. We've driven down there at 3 in the morning. There's nobody in there bathing with a bar of lava or something. It just doesn't happen. That thing gets pretty nasty. It's feathers in there and dirt. And even if you're homeless, you're not going to get clean. You're going to get all yucky. Now, there have been nuts who've gone in the Vallecart fountain in San Francisco and other fountains and start bathing and swimming, including the nudist nut types that are in San Francisco. That's a whole other animal. So, but I have, and there's something else. You're not liable to do that with the police department literally across the plaza. because the cops come out all the time and they go through the driveway on their patrols. Excuse me. And the homeless tend not to antagonize the cops. Not all of them. Some of them are crazy. Those are yelling and screaming at the cops. And all that. But they're literally across the street. Well, I think you're wrong about that because I've been going through that plaza for 12 years. And the police patrol that area. They walk through that area too. They don't just... And some of them here ride bicycles. So I think you're wrong. They're literally 50 feet away. But they drive the cars around day and night in this area. They patrol this area. They're going to notice some guy taking a bath. Even in the dark. 6-week tenure would be an expert on bathing in public, although I suspect he finds a way to go into a park restroom to do his ablutions. I have no idea. Don't look at me. I went to the homeless shelter to take a shower, or when I was wealthy enough, I paid money and rented a hotel room. And there were times I got gungy. I went in with a washcloth and a bar of soap and a towel and washed myself in the sink by putting it under my shirt and my pants. But I lived in my car for 6 months. Or I went to Glenn's or Maroney's and took a shower. I could do that without a problem. No one would object to my coming in with a bag. They wouldn't know what's in the bag. They let me take a shower there and change clothes. So I kept my clothes clean. I kept myself, brushed my teeth, shaved, looked clean, looked presentable. So I did not like being homeless. One bit. No, not something I would recommend. I wonder how long let's see, I did the first broadcast around 7 o'clock, so that was, what time is it? 12:25. I've been doing this now for over 5 hours. I'm getting kind of tired, guys. So I think I'm going to quit this for the night. Oh, Indian people have bathed my neighbor's huts. Have they go in fully clothed and do their laundry? That's disgusting. See, now I would call the cops on something like that. That's horrible. So, what kind of people go into somebody's yard and start taking a bath? Crazy people. People have no respect for their neighbors. I might do that for fun if 6-week tenure at a yard. Do a video on them taking a bath in 6-week tenure hot tub, but I do that for laughs, the comedy thing. Doesn't matter if they're still clothed. That's private property. They shouldn't be doing that. That's disrespecting your neighbor. And I mean, if they're homeless, why are they taking a bath with their clothes on at all? Why aren't they finding another place to bathe? Go to the laundromat, wash their clothes, and take a bath. And there are another place you can go when you're homeless. If it's during the summer, you park your car and you go into the public pool with your swim trunks and your bag, and you take a padlock and you take a shower in the swimming pool shower. You can do that. So I've done that a couple times when I could find a pool, but I wouldn't recommend that either. So well, then that means they're crazy. The homeowner can call the cops and say, these people are trespassing on my property. They can always do something about trespassing if they get a complaint. Well, they may want to save money, but if they came on my property, I'd call the cops. Get the hell out of here. Probably spray them with bug killer or something and say, get the hell out of here. Or threaten to throw an electric heater in there. That would drive them up fast. I got the electric heater, I'm going to throw in the hot tub. You don't get the hell out of my hot tub. Get the hell out of my hot tub. So, you know, those people are nuts. Of course, our immigration policies let these people in here who have no sense of decorum and manners and think that's acceptable behavior to take a bath in somebody else's hot tub. Why aren't they buying their own damn hot tub? You can get ones for free and repair them on Craigslist. You don't need to use your neighbor's hot tub. I see ads constantly, at least once a week. Free hot tub needs repair. Fix the hot tub. Even if the hot tub doesn't work, go and pour water in it, heat the water up, and use it as a giant bathtub. Cheap bastards. I never thought I'd hear somebody taking a bath in a hot tub with their clothes on. Usually I'm taking my clothes off. I'm not bathing in my past experience. Usually I got a girl in there. We're doing other things in hot tubbing. We're enjoying the hot tub. But Kathy and I used to go to hot tub years ago. It was when you paid to go to the hot tub in a private room, you know. We've gone into hot tubs just to soak our bodies after a rough day and relax, and we're not having any encounter or anything else. Oh God, this feels good. I don't want to ever leave. So. I don't think Wino is going to fill a hot tub with liquor. You know how much this stuff costs? By the way, I don't have the bucket. There's a bottle of liquor here. Some got a bourbon. There were 2 bottles in the recycled stuff, and big, heavy bottles of empty. No bourbon in there. I don't do bourbon, except in my eggnog. It's in the eggnog, the alcoholic eggnog that I buy every Christmas when it's available. But you know, a bottle of booze is a minimum. I mean, this thing here. This thing cost me $6 or $7. Now, try to fill a hot tub with cognac, you know. Even the cheap stuff, the E&J or the Christian Brothers, is not cheap. All right, Raymond, that's disgusting. I'm going to remove that. Eck, please. Please, no, don't do that. No commentary about bodily fluids in a liquor bottle. Eck. We're getting a little disgusting here. Let's drop this subject. I think it's time to end this on this horrible note. How do we get in the hot tub? Indians, hello me, hey, wash my body in your hot tub, please. I have a bit of soap. Amazed I got soap. I am guppy. I want to take a bath in your hot tub and wash my clothes because I am a cheap bastard. I'm too cheap to go to the laundromat like anybody else. Box wine, right? Yeah, right. Those ones you see in the buffet where they take the bag of wine and it's like one of those milk things. You know, you stick the rubber hose in there and you pull it. You get cheap red wine or white wine, and it's included in the cost of the buffet. It's really crappy wine, though. I took a sip once. Went, yuck! It's horrible. Yeah, that'll be the title of the next video cast: Box Wine, Indian Bathing, and Sock Tips. Hello, welcome to the Financial Channel, and today we're talking about box wine, Indian bathing, and stock tips, and how you can make money in the hot Indian bathing market. Yes. You can rent your hot tub out to Indian bathers and make big money fast. Lease your hot tub out to Indian bathers, but make sure they have soap and a towel and a washcloth. Indian box wine while bathing. One for Adam. Look, no, that's a racist comment. I'm not going to allow that here. Oh my God, what are we getting into here? Yeah, do not buy the toilet paper with the wood slivers in it. That's dangerous. The wine and bottle. We never see that on this channel. I don't drink wine. I cook with wine. Very rarely. I don't have a. That's another thing. If someone wants to send me a brand new double boiler, I could sure use it. A double broiler, whatever the hell it is. Dutch oven. That's it. I could cook my chicken and wine or mushroom. I'd show the finished product. That's the only time I use wine most. I don't like the taste of wine. Never had. Neither does Kathy. Box of wine from India. Yeah, made straight out of sacred cow manure or something. You know. Mumbai Express box of wine from India. I don't know. God. Oh, now the Indians are mad at me, you know. Oh, God. Story. You heard of the Five Guys hamburger place? You have the 3 starving Bangladeshis wine company or something. I don't want to go there. Come on, no more. I'm going to remove that comment too. No, a Dutch oven. I don't know the difference between a double broiler and a Dutch oven. You have the bottom thing. On ones I have were metal, and they were this black, white, speckled iron. And you put the chicken in, you put the butter in, the lemon pepper, the wine, and you got a lid, and you put it in the oven, and you cook it for 3.5 hours, and all the stuff falls off the bone, and it's very tasty. That's a Dutch oven. It's got a lid, and you put, it's a casserole thing, sort of. I don't know how to describe it. Oh, God, we've gone to the depths here of degradation, and, how dare you, sir, bring up Indian bathers? You should be ashamed of yourself. Mr. Who started this? Who started this thread anyway? I'm going to go after him. Who the hell started this crap? Hold on. Who started this? Oh, Ram Hadio. How dare you, Mr. Hadio, bring up Indian bathers? That's disgusting. You should know better than that. I am the 15-star General of the Lord. How dare you? That's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard of on this channel. I get a headache from doing that voice, man. How did he do that? How did he talk like that? It was a real voice. And it gives me a headache trying to talk like that. No. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Not going to put that on here on this channel. How dare you? Ham radio, Ram Hadio. Ham, put up your radio. I don't know what your name is. How dare you, sir? How dare you ruin the thread of this chat in this fine family oriented video cast, and no family in the right mind watch this after this. Oh my God! All right, now the haters will have fun with that too, I guess. So it's disgusting. That's another reason I miss Art Bell. One of the best parts of Art Bell was JC. How dare you, Mr. Bell? How dare you? How dare you are the devil's toe jam, Mr. Bell? I am JC, the 10-star General of the Lord. I keep wondering, where the hell is JC now? Art's dead. Shouldn't he be calling Nori? We would have heard about JC by now. That's why those who say he was a pawn on the plant may be right. JC, if anything, should have called Nori by now. And I haven't heard anybody send me an email. JC's on Nori tonight. Talking to Art Bell. The hate of Art Bell. Pumpkin is the mini depiction of hell. You know, there's a whole video. I watched this tonight. The first appearance on Dark Matter of JC, because Art thought he was dead. And then, JC proposed to some woman. I don't remember the woman's name. It wasn't Edna. Edna was, you know, off on a motorcycle ride or something. And then there's a whole video of every appearance of JC and Art Bell. You can watch the video on YouTube. It's every JC call. And even Kathy would listen to this stuff, and she'd be laughing her ass off. And she's not into Art Bell. She didn't know Art Bell from Bell Pepper. But she'd be laughing her ass off. This guy is nuts, you know. She'd be just cracking up, and I'd be cracking up. I'd be crying. And I watched something the other night. I don't know what it was. It made me cry. Oh, it was about the dog. that got adopted. A pit bull got adopted on YouTube, and it was happy. It was dancing around. It was so happy to get out of the pound because it was a high-killed shelter. Somebody, family came and adopted. I was crying at that. It was very happy, but it made me have tears of joy. But JC made me laugh so hard, I'd be sobbing and choking. Before I had asthma, he would be so outrageously dumb. And you didn't know, is this a put on or is this guy real? And if he is real, how did he get real? You know, how did the guy think like this? He had a problem with Canadians, and he had a problem with cats, and he had a problem with Willie Nelson, and he talked about, the one I was watching where he called Art at the end, and you could hear Art kind of, okay, JC, bye-bye, it's time for you to leave. He was talking about Randy Quaid being held by the Canadians. So, you know, I don't know if he had 3 people doing him or not, because it all sounded like JC, but it's some of the funniest stuff ever on radio or podcasts or anywhere. He would call up, and they would go out to Mr. Norrie. Mr. Norrie, how dare you? You steal wallets. Mr. Norrie, you are in a criminal conspiracy. This is JC, the 10-star General Lord. And George wouldn't handle it like Art. George was playing it straight, and he would try to talk to JC, and it just wasn't the same. Yeah, he doesn't like gays, he doesn't like Russians, he doesn't like the commies. I still listen. I got JC calls on my Mac, or I did before it died. And I got JC calls on this MacBook. And every once in a while I listen to it. If I'm in a down period, I'm depressed or sad or, you know, frustrated, or I don't feel well, I turn on JC because I start breaking up and I'm happy again. Because it's like, okay, here's my comedy relief for the day. It's JC. Brother Diamond the Impostulator. Yeah, he would, food porn, yeah. Food porn or weed. Food porn, yeah. Well, there is food porn out there, you know. I think he talked about, Art talked about the naked woman where you ate food off her, and JC went nuts over that or something. But Oscar, yeah, I don't remember. I remember Oscar, but I don't remember who Oscar was. He just, and of course he railed about how they stole Edna from him, and then Edna ran off with a biker, and that drove JC nuts. So I think inevitably you talk about Art Bell, you talk about the Area 51 caller, Mel's Hole, the Area 51 pilot, and the voice of Satan from the cave in Russia, and Bigfoot, and then somewhere JC wanders in there. Hate Star Trek, right? Oh yeah, didn't he call up and go after William Shatner one night? I think he went after William Shatner, and it would have been a double hit because Shatner is a Canadian and JC hates Canadians. The Impostulator, yeah, he came up with all these words that didn't exist. The Impostulator, and Bigfoot of the devil, yes. Now, of the usually means where you're from. So Bigfoot is of the town the devil. That's where Bigfoot lives, in the village of the devil, you know. Oh God, I'm getting a headache again from laughing. Laughing affects my sinuses, Sonny Fierce, but this is so funny. Yeah. The Impostulator. Mr. Bell, you are the devil's toe jam, Mr. Bell. I never did figure out what toe jam was or the devil's toe jam, but what the hell is toe jam anyway? I guess that stuff that's under your toenails. I have to clip Kathy's toenails. And they're like werewolf nails. They're really hard and really big, and I have to really, and she yells because some of them are so thick that it hurts her toes. I've got these big clippers, and if she doesn't, then it starts ingrowing. And Ratty won't do it for her. Ratty does a bad job, but I do a fairly good job. But she gets some that are so ingrown, they start digging into the skin. And it hurts, but every once in a while I have to come and... You like Ann Coulter. Well, you know, I like Ann Coulter too. Although Ann Coulter goes off the deep end too at times. So, But there was nothing like JC in the radio either. Can you imagine JC having called back in the day, Larry King? Mr. King, how dare you? I don't think it would have worked with Larry King. Larry King would go, what? What is this? What do you want? Why are you on my show? With his New York Jewish accent. Larry would have been clueless to deal with JC. He wouldn't have known what the hell to do. You know? You are a criminal, Mr. King. You declared bankruptcy. How dare you, Mr. King? Oh God! What if JC had called oh my God, Bill O'Reilly or something? Alternate people for JC to harass. Bill O'Reilly. Oh God. Apparently there are pictures on Facebook they're aware of what JC looked like. They're out there somewhere. Now whether or not it's some Photoshop guy or a made-up picture, I have no idea. But there were pictures posted on Belgab of what JC looked like. Yeah, well, I liked Arnold Palmer very much. He was a great golfer and a legend. So, but and I saw the Colonel. So, but if JC looked like Colonel Sanders, we're in trouble. How dare you make this chicken the way you do, KFC? I am the Colonel, the 10-star General of Chicken. Oh, God. Yeah, he said that. He went after Brokeback. Thank you for reminding me. He went after Brokeback Mountain. Help. Can't say that. Brokeback Mountain, which I never saw. He went after that movie, too. They were now doing in the JC hour. Oh, that's my back. That's my back. My back does not like this chair. Mr. Bell, how dare you didn't buy me a new chair when you were alive, Mr. Bell, and help me get my back surgery. How come you never got your back surgery, Mr. Bell? The only thing, years ago, before I injured the back with this, Kathy used to do what I'm doing now. She would take her fist and press as hard as she could against my back to stop the pain from when I fell down the stairs in 1972. It was made by a communist, yeah. Yeah, them commies. I think commies are behind this. Your call is very important to us, and no one is available now. And what's the third thing they always do when you call up? You are the 44th in queue, and we can call you back. And, oh yeah, high call volume. That's another communist plot right there. And tofu, and bean sprouts, and yogurt, Greek yogurt particularly. It says Greek commies right there. And anything disgusting. You want to eat eggplant, rutabaga, rhubarb, and beets. And oh yeah, and let's not forget Art Bell's least favorite vegetable in the world, lima beans. All communist plot. He wanted to fight Art back behind the woodshed. Yeah, well, I don't think Art had a woodshed. I could be wrong. We should settle this with our fist. So, yeah, I don't know if has anybody started a JC Facebook page for the thoughts of Chairman JC or something, or best JC or worst quotes ever from JC, But has JC called Nori since Art's death? That's my other question. I don't know. Because he used to call not infrequently, but not enough. By the way, speaking of Art Bell, when are they going to ever do the autopsy report for the public? So, yeah, there was real rants on there that went on and on. I tried to read them once when I couldn't see, and It was this absolute craziness in him, you know. Let me take a quick leaving from the chat for a minute, and let me see what I can find out about J.C. Webster. Let's see what's out there on Google. J.C. Webster the Third, Facebook, J.C. Webster Podcast, J.C. Webster Edna, J.C. Webster Chicago Music Exchange. Isn't that the thing from the Blues Brothers? Well, let's look up the Facebook page. Oh yeah, J.C. was running for president. Clamp. Remember that? He ran for president. There he is. There's a picture of him. He looks like Scrooge. Clamp. Christian Legion against media pornography. J.C. Webster, God's 10-star. Now there's a Donald Trump ad on the side and a picture of Jesus. And now that page crashed. The page just crashed. When I tried to scroll down, it crashed. So J.C. crashed my page here or something. There it is, back again now. And let's see, let me look here. Rachel Maddow, lesbian mad cow, has done something right, revealing the whole the Russian pornographic attack against our system. But she's lying more about lesbians. She lies about Russian involvement with Donald, our president. Russia's the enemy, people. And Hillary Clinton demonizing witch is coming back, part of the resistance. And there's a whole bunch of stuff down here. And nothing of late. John Lewis, abandoned God, no porn. The devil's, whoa, wait a minute, there's something here with a pumpkin, hold on. Oh, he's against pizza, doesn't like pizza. Doesn't like Obama. Halloween is the devil's birthday. And he talks about that. I'm not going to repeat it. And he doesn't like children wearing costumes. And another picture of Hillary Clinton. And here's one about cats. He's got a cat with glowing red eyes. And you bought from Barnes & Noble Satanic Bible. And he doesn't like Lego. He goes after Lego. He doesn't like Lego, and although he's a picture of Lego porn, and he doesn't like gays, and he's got a Nazi symbol on the gay flag. So, oh my God, if this is all done by GC, it's really bizarre. So that's his clamp site, and let's see what his regular Facebook page is here, if we can see it. Well, that's not it. It's gone. There is no Facebook page automatically. It's a blank page with a bunch of cat posts attached. Munchkin Cat, Jimmy Cat, Sooty Cat, Denny the Cat who looks like Talkie, Garfield, Igati, the Barbara, Elton, Boku, the Rayurs, Christopher Cat, The Adventures of Mommy Cat, the Bee Cat, and Rufus Willis. So they're all cat pages. But the J.C. Webster Facebook page is gone. Now, hold on, there's... Now, he is listed on Coast to Coast. Jonathan Christian Webster III. And, so he is on Coast to Coast AM. A very long... All book learning is evil. The Addams Family, the Texas Satanic Family. Art Bell is responsible for Heaven's Gate. Roman Catholics are full of spirits. Star Trek is pornographic. Edna Pringle has run away with a man, and he blamed George Norrie for Edna. Lesbian hold Tupperware parties. People who drink Mountain Dew will go to hell, and shadow people are ghosts of black people. So there's your JC stuff on Coast to Coast AM. Oh, God. So, I've never heard anybody say it. Shadow people are the ghosts of black people. That's got to be a first. And people drink Mountain Dew will go to hell. Well, it's not the same Mountain Dew as when it started. Because Mountain Dew tasted better 50 years ago when it first came out and it tickled your ears. Yeah, George Norrie is from the St. Louis Mafia, which is funny because George Norrie was one of the last people to try to see or interview Jimmy Hoffa, and he disappeared. He may be right on that, I don't know. He's from the what was it? Nighthawk Mafia there, yeah. So anyway, that's what happened. Nobody chatted while I was reading all that stuff. I thought you guys would say something. Anyway, I got to get off this thing. I'm sweating and I'm tired and things are starting to hurt, but they shouldn't hurt. So I think that's it for the night. I've done almost 6 hours of this. Oh, God. If George Norrie's in the St. Louis Mafia, I think the Mafia's in dire straits. You got nowhere else to go. Well, I'll see if I do this tomorrow. I don't know. What the hell is tomorrow? Tomorrow is today. It's Saturday already. I got no particular place to go. So, okay, let's do one more time here with the music. I still haven't managed to get the music on the thing here. I'll do that. I meant to do it last week. Hey, that didn't do that. That didn't work. My name is JC, and I'm a nut. My name is JC, I'm crazy. How dare you, Mr. Ram, whatever your name is, Ram Hideo, how dare you discuss JC in a disrespectful manner? You got a pizza roll, you can't refuse it. Take the pizza roll from my hand, wheat hopper. Well, George burned himself with a pizza roll, and I choked on beef stew. We're kind of even, aren't we? Well, if they hired George Norrie, they're in trouble. I'm not up in my St. Louis Mafia. I know New Orleans, I know Dallas, I know Pittsburgh, I know New York, I know Chicago. The boys in Chicago. I know Los Angeles, I know San Francisco, but I don't know anything about the St. Louis Mafia. So I thought that was the Cardinals, whichever incarnation they are, the football and the baseball. That was the St. Louis Mafia. I have no idea. So with that line, George Norrie and the St. Louis Mafia, I think it's time to end this. This is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh, who got the big laugh of the night. We wound up going from talking about my health issues to Indian bathing. Now there'll be an Indian bathing for dummies book, in hot tubs for dummies book coming out real soon. So have a great morning, have a great day, stay warm, dry, wet, or cool out there. Whatever your particular choice is, particularly if it's Indian bathing. This is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh, and above all, stay safe out there. I'll catch you next time, and cover your hot tub. Remember, keep America safe, cover your hot tub. Bye-bye for now. Have a great morning, people. I'm done. Big God. Bye. Yeah, with box wine. Let's not forget the box wine. Thank you. Box wine, Indian bathing. Yeah, box wine for dummies. There we go. The new dummies book. Box wine for dummies.